Good day everyone. We are the group 9 of Managerial Accounting and we are here to present to you our report entitled Profit Planning. Before we proceed to the next slide, what is profit planning? Profit planning is the process of creating a financial plan that outlines the expected revenues and expenses of a business in a period. Kibali, dirian mo siya kuan ang profit planning dirian mo ma-explain bitaw kung unsa bitaw ang mga expected na expenses, expected nimo na income sa imong business na himuon. Next. Why profit planning? Profit planning turns a profit bali diri ta maka-generate og income. Then healthy balance sheet, syempre sa isa ka business dili man pwedeng unhealthy mo balance sheet kay meaning lugi ka na, di ba? Then sa generates goods cash flow. Sa imong mga products nga gina-offer, sa imong services nga gina-offer, kuan, nagi cash flow di ba sa financial statement nato. So kung sa profit planning, dirian nato planuhan kung unsaon nato pagbalanse bitaw sa mga cash nato ipagawa sa cash natong isulod ana. Then produces a good returns on investment or ROI. Then diri apod returns of investment mao man ni pinaka-goal gud nato sa atong business. Once na magtukod tag business, ang pinaka-goal gud nato is maka-generate ta or makakuanta og returns of investment. Next slide. Sa pagkuan sa profit planning moagi pud ta sa business plan. Naay tulo ka type sa business plan na atong agian para maka-kumpleto sa atong profit planning. Mao sila ang technical feasibility, market feasibility, and financial feasibility. Technical feasibility, mo ni siya ang kuan bitaw murag study bitaw para ma-identify nato kung ang mga current ba na technologies magamit nato sa ato ang business. Ang market feasibility mo ni siya diri nato na ang study kung asa nato ma-identify mga kuan market competition nato, ang kanang market position ana. And then last is the financial feasibility. Diri apod ang study para mahibaw-an nato kung ang kana bitaw mga expenses nato, mga liabilities ana, mga income. That's all for my report.
Okay, good morning, ma'am. So, my topic, one of my topic, so budget. Budget is a detailed financial plan that quantifies future expectations and actions relative to acquiring and using resources. So, di na ang budget, magamit yun na siya laglig mo ang tawag business plan. So, sa business plan mo, before ta makahimo budget plan, business plan, kinahanglan naadjud tay makabalo jud ta sa mga budget niya. So daghan klase na mga budget. Next, og hangtod na makaabot ta makahimo og financial statement. So dinha sa financial statement, as we all know, na naa din ha magkwanta og balance sheet, then income statement o cash flow. So budgeted pud na silang tanan aron ta makahimo. Ang kanin siya na mga sa financial statement na siya mga schedules. Usa niya sa schedule ang sales budget. Sales budget is a financial plan that estimates a company's total revenue in a specific time period. It focuses on two things. Ang kinahanglan na din ha ang products sold and the price at which they are sold to predict how the company will perform. Example sa sales budget. Kung si Del Morris, na siya kanang shop, nagbaligya siya o kanang mga computer. Dayon, nag-expect siya na mahalin 120 ka computer, ana na quarter. Then sales budget would be sa their quarter and each and cost 12. So 120 times 12 mo na siya 1,440 for ana na quarter. So the purpose of this to provide a clear and detailed plan for sales revenue generation, enabling the company to set performance targets and allocate resources accordingly. So ang ikaduha ang production budget. Production budget, also known as manufacturing budget. So it is a budget that determines the quantity of the firm's product budgetary time period. This budget is stated in units of the product of the quantity. There are three types of components of production budget, include the direct materials budget, direct labor budget, and the overhead cost. The example of these are the rent payables, utilities payables, insurance payables, and so on. The number 4 is the raw materials purchase budget. Materials budget or materials purchases budget is used to plan how much materials we need to have available to meet budgeted production. This budget is prepared similarly to the production budget, as the company must decide how much raw materials inventory they want to have on hand at the end of each quarter. The formula of this is quantity of direct materials needs for production plus desired ending materials balance minus beginning materials equals direct materials to be purchased. Then the fifth schedule is direct labor cost budget. Direct labor budget is calculates the total number of labor hours required to manufacture the units of the production budget. How to calculate this direct labor budget is first, multiply the total number of units by the cost in time to produce each unit. That gives the total number of hours necessary. Then multiply that by the cost per hour for labor to get the total labor cost. The next is overhead expense budget. Overhead budget is plan that helps in outlining the various expenses of the business that are expected to occur in future but are not related directly to the production of goods. They are recurring in nature, which means they are incurred regularly, like rent, insurance, salary, and etc. Then, the cost of goods sold budget. Cost of goods sold budget, or the COGS, is essentially part of our operating budget. COGS is the direct expenses of cost of the production for the goods sold by the business. These expenses include the cost of raw materials and labor, but do not include direct costs such as that of the employing salesperson. So, as na naman kabalo na ta na to get the COGS, na to dito ang beginning, then plus purchases, then minus end sa inventory. So, ang cost of goods sold, makita na siya sa inventory. Then, the account receivable budget. The receivable budget helps estimate the amount owed to the businesses by each trade receivables at the end of a specific period. The cash sales and transactions relating to cash sales are not included in trade receivables budget. The next is account payable budget. It is determined using the purchases budget, like materials for manufacturer, or inventory purchases budget for a merchandiser, and the schedule of each cash payments. Then lastly is the loan repayment schedule. Loan repayment schedule generated in the ledger will enter a debit to the cash account to record the receipt of cash from the loan and credit to a loan liability account for the outstanding loan. So, these schedules, ma-reflect ni siya diri sa balance sheet. So, example, kaning si sales budget, makita nato ni siya sa budgeted income statement. The production, makita po na siya din ha sa paghimo diri from production mo ning din ha makakwanta sa income. Also the raw materials kana siya, direct labor, the overhead expenses, cost of goods sold na sila diri sa budgeted income statement. Then account receivable budget na siya sa balance sheet. Then payable also na siya sa balance sheet. Then kaning loan repayment naani siya ang ihang ending sa balance sheet makita. Then of course the cash flow, the ang in and out sa cash obviously so na jud na siya sa budgeted cash flow statements. Next. Good day everyone. Also to our instructor, Ms. Donna Jean Marsan. This is the continuation of our report, the profit planning. My report is all about the revenue. This is the factor na makuha nato ang revenue sa ato ang business. The quantity sales, cost, variable cost and fixed cost, and then the selling price. The quantity sales naa siya na magamit nato para makuha nato ang ato ang quantity sales. Market size, customers, area, target market capture, then growth strategy, then assumption. Then sa cost, variable cost, then fixed cost, naa diri ang beef units and beef amount. Ang beef, nagpasabot ni siya og break-even point. Ang fixed cost is also known as the indirect cost or overhead cost are business expenses that are not expended on the level of goods or services. And the fixed cost, the fixed cost is, variable cost is are costs that change as the quality of the goods or services that a business produce changes. Ang beef, the meaning of the beef is break-even point. It is the point of which total cost and total revenue are equal. Then the selling price, competitive market price, it is alternative. Then customer interview, so mag-interview kita sa among customer aron kuan nimo imong target price nimo sa imong product. Then seasonal effect, kanang ug unsay kanang mag-viral sa anang every season sa imong product no gyud na imong i-sell. So value deliver and then assumption. Mao ra to ako ang kuan report. The next is Mr. Jelito. Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. My topic is all about sales budget. There are five factors considered generating sales. The first is a factor consideration. Factors consideration, the proportion expressed as a decimal of a spin-off share that is obtained from its effective share. The next is a seasonal effect. Seasonal effect is a systematic and calendar-related effect. Some examples include that sharp escalation in most retail series which occurs around December in response to the Christmas period, or an increase in water consumption in summer due to a warmer weather. Next is a pricing technique. Pricing technique is an approach taken by business to decide how much to charge for their goods and services. The next is growth strategy. Growth strategy is a plan of action that allows you to achieve a higher level of market share than you currently have. And the last is a market share. Market share is the percent of total sales in an industry generated by a particular company. There are the two key factors of a sales budget. The first is a budgeted sales unit, and a budgeted selling price. That's all. Thank you, ma'am.